The biggest story, I should have let off the whole thing with this, is brace yourself.
Okay.
Cody Poteet has been traded. Do you remember who Cody Poteet is by chance?
Okay. He was acquired in the trade for Cody Bellinger, right?
Yes. I think
Cody for a Cody.
I think the only reason you got that is because I brought it up pretty much every podcast for the last month. So other listeners to Major League A-holes probably know who he is. But I'm not sure how many other people actually know who Cody Poteet is. But he was DFA'd last week and subsequently traded to the Baltimore Orioles for, you guessed it, cash considerations.
My favorite player.
Yeah. Well, it's exacerbated because, first of all, he was traded for Cody Bellinger. Cody fucking Bellinger, who's now got 6 RBI, 871 OPS with the Yankees. He's looking
pretty
like
good.
Like a very productive offensive player. Maybe not an MVP, but certainly somebody the Cubs could use on their roster. Unfortunately, the directive for the Cubs these days is not about putting the best product on the field. It is about money. And we've talked about this over and over again. And it could not be more obvious than when not only do you trade Cody Bellinger for this anonymous player who has now been traded away just for more cash, you also gave the Yankees $5 million to take Bellinger off your hands. It's just the most frustrating thing if they would just admit it's a fucking salary dump. I mean, there's no other way to describe this, and yet they will not admit that's what they are doing. It's just math. I mean, it's so obvious. Look at their payroll from last year. It is now $40 million less than it was last season.
Wow.
So they are below $200 million. They are up and around just below 230 at the end of last season. That $40 million less, that figure might stick in your head a little bit too. That happens to be the amount of money that Alex Bregman is making per year now for the next 3 years with the Boston Red Sox. Well, that $40 million could have come from the Cubs, and he would be at least an adequate replacement for Bellinger, potentially. I think that you could argue their offensive stats and defensive prowess could be like for like, even though they don't play the same positions. But I could understand that if they wanted to get rid of Bellinger to improve the third base situation. That's not what they did. And that's what they were trying to sell us all offseason, is that's what they're doing. They're going to reinvest that money to improve the roster, and they fucking didn't. And whether it's incompetence, whether it's miscommunication, whether it's flat out lies, it has not been done. They are favoring money over the performance on the field. Fortunately for Jed Hoyer, at least, the division they happen to reside in might allow them to make the playoffs even without maximizing their roster and using the advantages they have. But that's been a mixed bag. I mean, I love to see Milwaukee get off to a bad start, but I'm always fearful what they could actually do down the stretch, because they always beat the Cubs somehow and win divisions when the Cubs haven't made the playoffs since 2020. It's just unacceptable. And not only is it unacceptable, they're fucking lying about it. So it's disgusting. I just believe less and less of what I hear from Jed Hoyer. I feel like his hands are a bit tied when you hear he has to beg ownership to make the fourth best offer to Alex Bregman. Far $60 million less than what the Tigers even offered him. It's just embarrassing. And they better make the fucking playoffs. I'm going to say this every week, because Jed Hoyer might have to be released. I mean, the owner's not going to fire himself. Someone's got to take the blame. They don't make the playoffs here, and Tom Ricketts has himself to blame. So we're early for asshole of the week, but the more this shit piles up, I could make Tom Ricketts asshole of the week every week. So they are lying to us. Don't let them lie to us. I'm actually disappointed to report that story we did last week, where season tickets are sold out now. I think I would have felt better about things if this is the first year in years that season tickets hadn't totally been sold out. So just to send a message to ownership, like, fuck you. Don't, if you've got a money strategy, just fucking tell us about it. Don't lie to our fucking faces over it. So that's my Cubs rant for the moment.
Word Hole Media.